Lobster.
Attention shoppers, there's a Toyota Camry parked in a tow-away zone.
Now get $1,500 cash back or 1.9% APR financing for 36 months on the 05 Camry LE. That's $1,500 cash back or 1.9% financing. Toyota, moving forward.
An evacuee at the Coliseum tries to locate her family.
Where am I?
Charlotte.
From a city she's never been in.
I haven't heard anything from him since. And that was since last Tuesday.
Now 6 News takes action. And tracks down her children.
From Carolina's News Channel, WCNC, 6 News starts now.
Good evening, I'm Chris Justice. We begin with a mother's plea to 6 News to help find her 4 children. They were separated when Katrina hit Louisiana, and tonight, our own Tiffany Hellberg tracked those children down. Tiffany went back to the Coliseum tonight with the woman's daughter on the phone. She brings us a story you'll see only on 6 News.
My name is Elizabeth Boyd. I'm looking for my 4 kids and my grandkids. If y'all get this message, can you call?
A desperate plea from a desperate mother.
It's hard because we never been separated before.
Elizabeth Boyd begged for help from anyone who would listen. We did, later handing her the phone without telling her we found them.
Go ahead, talk into it.
Hello? Oh, jeez. Creisha? 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 Oh, Lord. Yeah. Everybody okay?
All 4 children and Boyd's grandchildren were in Houston, searching for their mom.
I love y'all. Yeah, I'm coming.
Hoping anyone would hear their pleas to find her.
I'm fine now. I'm okay. All right. I got what I wanted. Oh, I love y'all very much. I'm gonna see y'all soon.
Now, her children range in age from 17 to 24, and tonight we also know Mayor Pat McCrory is working on getting the mother to Houston to see her children. It took Tiffany just 2 minutes to find the children on the internet. The Red Cross is now working on internet access for evacuees at the Coliseum. We've created links to sites dedicated to reuniting families. You can find them on WCNC.com. Now to incredible video of an elderly woman being rescued in New Orleans. Police and National Guard troops went door to door earlier tonight, and a police crews had already searched. They eventually heard the cry of a 62-year-old woman who had been trapped for 10 days in a stairwell. Now she's in the hospital to the relief of her rescuers.
Give her a life and get her out of this stuff. That's why I came all this way.
Rescue crews say the woman was actually drinking the contaminated water and that if they had not gotten to her, she would have died within a day. Well, tonight, FEMA is dealing with more tough questions, and their representative in Charlotte didn't provide a lot of answers. Evacuees here are getting debit cards, but so far, not from the government. 6 News reporter Tony Burbeck joins us live now at 11 from the Coliseum with more on that. Tony?
Chris, tonight we know some 200 or more evacuees here in Charlotte are now registered with FEMA. And what that means is they are now eligible to receive federal aid. But tonight they're still wondering just when they'll get it. $965.
For gas, for clothes, for food.
That's how much Mike Deem says he'll get Friday on a debit card from the American Red Cross. He's an evacuee from Gulfport, Mississippi. The family and the family dog are about the only things that made it to Charlotte. He still has one big question about a $2,000 debit card the government says every evacuee household will receive.
When? Yeah.
Thursday, Dean filled out paperwork for hours. Then
FEMA is here.
He asked a FEMA representative about the debit card.
He goes, well, we don't know where you heard that from, but it's a big rumor and it's not true.
A short time later, President Bush said it is true.
First step is providing every household with $2,000 in emergency disaster relief.
frustration over communication.
And I said, well, you know what? Somebody needs to get their story straight.
This was the theme of FEMA's answers to reporters' questions at the Coliseum.
I don't know how long. Something new to me. I have no idea. We're on the move, and we're going all over the United States, and right now, that's what I can tell you.
Deem's $2,000 debit card could take days.
But I understand the size of the catastrophe and all the people involved.
When it comes, Deem says, it will be worth the wait.
Because people are hurting, and people need the money.
And this is the biggest shelter operation in the history of the United States. And a lot of the groups that are helping put all this together tell me there just is no game plan. In fact, they use a sports analogy, saying it's like drawing a play up in the dirt and running it and hoping that it works. Live now tonight in Charlotte, Tony Burbeck, 6 News.
Now, in just the past few hours, President Bush signed a relief and recovery bill into law. That Hurricane Katrina bill provides nearly $52 billion to families in need. Also, the nation's environmental chief says Lake Pontchartrain is filled with highly contaminated floodwaters, and forcible evacuations for those remaining in New Orleans are on the way. Leanne Gregg reports for 6 News tonight and shows us what's new at 11.
Come on to Granny. Yes, indeed, indeed.
Pat Walker's the self-appointed grandma at this Gulfport shelter where she's lived since the storm.
I got a blow-up mattress yesterday. I'm no longer on the floor. God does love us.
Search and rescue! We are here to help!
To the west in New Orleans, an all-out effort is underway to evacuate the last of the holdouts. It was damage control on all fronts from the administration. Vice President Dick Cheney toured the flood zones and promised more help is coming.
We're here to get a job done, and we'll do it.
You have family here? Yes.
Laura Bush talked with children at a Mississippi school.
I think we've seen a lot of the same footage over and over that isn't necessarily representative of what really happened.
President Bush announced every household in disaster areas is eligible for a $2,000 relief check. What he promised, the Red Cross is delivering.
It means a whole lot to me because I don't have anything.
How long have you been out of your meds?
Relief workers say they're desperate for more medical help.
We need more nurses. We need more doctors. We don't have enough.
The struggle to survive goes on.
I love you, and you know it.
For Pat Walker, even the smallest comforts bring joy. She and thousands say having the chance to live on and face the struggle is a gift. Hundreds of storm victims are being bused to cities across the country where they'll be given free housing and a chance to start a new life. From Gulfport, Mississippi, I'm Leanne Gregg, 6 News.
And tonight we're tracking the newly formed Hurricane Ophelia, now churning in the Atlantic. For that, we head to the SkyMax Weather Center and Chief Meteorologist Terry Bennett. Terry?
Well, Chris, really one of the more optimistic stories about Ophelia is that she's been sitting in the same place, and as that continues to happen, she's stirring up the ocean currents and likely going to bring some cooler water to the surface. And of course, we know hurricanes don't like cooler water, but nonetheless, it's a situation we're watching very closely. Still just a minimal hurricane with winds of 75 miles an hour. The pressure's actually up since earlier in the evening, so she has not intensified at all. Here's a forecast track between now and tomorrow evening. Likely taking a steer out toward the northeast, but oh so slowly, continuing that on Sunday. And then there are thoughts that this storm would actually loop back around on itself as we head through Tuesday. So no immediate effects, at least from the intense winds coming from the storm along our coast. What we can expect, though, there are already high surf advisories posted, and dangerous rip currents are likely. Scattered showers, especially from about Litchfield Beach and south, and winds out of the northwest up to about 25 miles an hour. But you need to monitor the situation closely because these things can change quickly. For now, that is the latest forecast coming out of the Hurricane Center about 10 minutes ago. Chris?
All right, Terry, thank you. Now, a warning to everyone wanting to give money to hurricane victims. Scams are circulating around the world, some even raising money for white supremacy groups. We continue our coverage now with 6 News reporter Rebecca Lindstrom. Rebecca?
Well, just imagine someone standing on a street with a bucket. Help hurricane victims. It's easy enough just to drop in a buck or two. But beware, with all the scams cropping up everywhere, if you don't check out your charity, this is about all those victims might really get. Type in Katrina help, relief, donations. It's never seemed easier to give.
In the week after Katrina,
There were approximately 500 separate sites out there soliciting funds.
This one claiming to collect emergency donations.
Actually, that money went through his white supremacist site.
The Attorney General in Missouri says his office got the tip at 8 a.m. By 2, the site was shut down.
It was a scam he set up to try to be a target, to use, in essence, hurricane victims as his ploy to get people to contribute money.
But as fast as sites get shut down, criminals create new ones.
A lot of times people will just change their IP address and come up as another entity. It doesn't mean that they've necessarily gone away.
And the scams go beyond the internet.
There was a guy outside of a store with a handmade sign that said American Red Cross, and he was trying to collect money.
And in other cities, con artists have been caught going door to door, pretending to be evacuees, asking for money.
Well, I'm gullible, but it was a believable story.
They were very nice.
And they were nice people, and they were well dressed.
Your best bet, forget the bucket. Give money directly to a recognized charity or research the charity before you donate. And if you see something fishy, report it. We have links on our website to help you do all of that. Live now in the Control Center, Rebecca Lindstrom, 6 News.
Tonight, an accident ends with a postal worker dead.
Well, I've been living here 19 years, and she's been here ever since I've been here.
What went wrong during her normal route? And the New Orleans Saints coming to town. How the players are preparing as they deal with what's lost in their hometown. Also, a police chase here ends like this and puts one man behind bars. Plus, you don't see this every day. Who in Charlotte is trying to help this four-legged duck? When WCNC, the Carolinas News Channel, comes right back.
Are you stuck at a gas hog? Donald Craig Suzuki will sell any Suzuki for $0 down, $99 a month. Make the smart move to a new 05 Suzuki Reno, Forenza, Verona, or XL7 with America's #1 warranty. You deserve 30 miles a gallon, don't you? Drive any Suzuki $0 down, $99 a month at Donald Craig Suzuki, the world's #1 dealer. I-77 exit 36 Mooresville, or call 866-33 car for you.
This is unbelievable. It's a lifetime. God.
We'll make it right, John.
For the past 20 years, I've been their insurance agent. But not today.
Life comes at you fast. Nobody understands better than Nationwide Insurance.
Just announced, the Chevy employee discount continues on 05 vehicles and is now available on 06 full-size trucks. From the family of Chevy trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. The discount price is right on the window. That's the Chevy Total Value Promise. Right now, get an 06 Silverado half-ton crew cab LT two-wheel drive for just under $26,300. See your Carolina Chevy dealer today.
A freak accident leads to the death of a mail carrier working on the job. Why investigators believe she was killed by her own postal vehicle. That postal worker died on a route she'd covered in southeast Charlotte for nearly 20 years. 69-year-old Anita Chaffin died this afternoon on Rittenhouse Circle. Police believe it happened when she forgot to put her vehicle into park when she went to deliver mail. Her vehicle rolled down the hill and struck her. Now to a story of a police chase we first brought you as breaking news out of Union County. Highway Patrol made an arrest after that chase ended on Waxhaw Highway this afternoon. Airstar 6 was on the scene and captured these pictures. So far, investigators have not released any information on what led to the pursuit. A surgeon who's been treating hurricane victims around the clock sees the damage outside for the first time. Straight ahead on 6 News, he says what he saw will change him forever. Finding new ways to keep the Catawba River clean, how these lawmakers are tackling the problem. And this duck, now living in Charlotte, has 2 extra legs. What people here are doing to make her life easier. I'm Chris Justice, and this is my little brother Tad, the inspiration for the Chris Justice Golf Classic presented by Hanson Brick and played here at Rolling Hills Country Club. All proceeds benefit Special Olympics. For more information, log on to WCNC.com.
Friday night on the Blitz, Shelby takes on Crest. West Charlotte visits Myers Park. Hickory plays host to Bandy's. Plus, Olympic gets after Providence. And more highlights and scores from key matchups. The Friday Night Blitz, tomorrow night at 11:15.
Lots of Wi-Fi users work in coffee shops, which aren't always the best places to work. Wouldn't it be great to work wherever you wanted instead of only in hotspots? Now you can with Verizon Wireless Broadband Access. Wi-Fi only works in limited locations, while Broadband Access is the nation's largest, fastest, wide-area wireless broadband network and is expanding coast to coast. Now get unlimited access at a great price, so you won't get stuck in a not-so-hot spot. Verizon Wireless, we never stop working for you.
Get the lowest price on brand new Toyotas now.
Click on toyotaoflakenorman.com.
Park Chevrolet is the Carolina's big dog pre-owned store. 2 locations, over 2,000 cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs. Quality vehicles from right here in the Carolinas. Toyotas, Hondas, Ford, Chevy, and more. Every Park's used car is thoroughly inspected, as a Carfax report is priced below Kelley Blue Book. Most have warranties available. Big savings, big selections, no big risk.
Park Chevrolet says move over, little dog, 'cause the big dog leads the way. Oh, yeah.
Relax into it. You got it. Get over here.
You gotta get your head in the game. You're stepping in the bucket. Your mechanics are miserable. What are you thinking about? Again? You gotta be kidding me. Get over there.
He's thinking about Arby's Bacon Cheddar Melts. Come in and get 2 of them for just $3. It's an amazing deal on a delicious sandwich that'll have you saying, I'm thinking Arby's.
Air Star 6, only on today's 6 News.
This 6 News telecast is brought to you in part by Lake Norman Chrysler Jeep Dodge.
A North Carolina doctor helping the hurricane victims is now taking his first look at the damage that's all around it. For nearly a week, doctors from Carolina's Med1 Mobile Hospital Unit have worked around the clock on the Gulf Coast. Tonight, 6 News reporter John Romero is with one surgeon as he views the damage for himself. It's tonight's 6 News Extra report.
I don't think there's anything that could have prepared me for any of this.
After a week of working in the hospital, this is the first time Dr. Ben Zarzer has seen the community he's working to save.
I mean, I definitely deal with tragedy every day. I mean, that's what I do, is doing trauma and critical care, but, you know, but this is a lot different.
Dr. Zarzer rode with us and an employee of CMC to the town of Waveland, where the hurricane's eye passed over.
That's a big alligator.
Images that were almost too much for the veteran trauma surgeon.
Just the items of everyday life that are just scattered around.
It's been tough being away from his wife and kids.
There's no question in my mind I'd make the same exact decision again, and these people need me more.
It took this trip to Waveland, Mississippi to convince him he'll be going to where the next storm hits.
I'll be much more likely to come, just because I'll know how bad it is.
We tend to think of storms as isolated events. They blow in hard and they move on. But the reality here is that these storms last for months or years. They continue as people here sleep on the asphalt, lucky just to have a sleeping bag. They continue every day. They go from tent to tent looking for their next meal. This is our final report from the Med1 Mobile Hospital. Their work should continue here for about another 11 weeks. The guys rotating back home to Charlotte, North Carolina in 1-week intervals. If you see him in town, give him a pat on the back. This has been a difficult assignment for everybody. Everyone here still trying to weather the storm. In Waveland, Mississippi, with the Med1 team, I'm John Romero for 6 News.
And thanks to our viewers, we have successfully passed the $500,000 mark in our Neighbors Helping Neighbors campaign. More than $530,000 has been raised for the survivors of Hurricane Katrina through in-store donations at Harris Teeter stores. There's still time to donate. Just purchase a $1 or $5 donation card at any Harris Teeter store through September 18th. The money goes directly to the American Red Cross. Several dozen leaders from Gaston and Mecklenburg counties gathered on board a cruise boat in the Catawba River. About 70 leaders held briefings on the mini cruise, which is sponsored by the Lake Wylie Marine Commission. Mayor Pat McCrory and several other Carolina mayors talked about ways to conserve the river basin area. which covers 2 states, 14 counties, and 30 cities.
This is a resource that could be lost. It's not, we can't assume that it'll always be here and that we'll always be able to enjoy it. We're going to have to do something to make sure that happens. And for that to be successful, we're going to have to work together.
The group covered issues from water quality and quantity, land use and development, as well as tourism and recreation. And we now turn to Chief Meteorologist Terry Bennett for a look at the weather. A lot to look at locally and also what's happening down around Florida. Right, Terry?
Well, you know, we've got a beautiful weather setting up, or more beautiful weather setting up as we head through the weekend. But, of course, all eyes will be off the coast watching the developments of Hurricane Ophelia. Right now, she's really just kind of sitting there churning around, not showing any movement at all. So for tomorrow, another very nice day, albeit dry. We really could use a little rain. There won't be any falling tomorrow. Temperatures will start out about 60 degrees, make it into the mid-80s during the afternoon. Winds tomorrow will be out of the northeast, less than 10 miles an hour. Today, we topped out at 85 degrees. It started out at 59 this morning, and it's those cool readings in the mornings which have really made all the difference. You can see when you look at the normals, and the morning normals are typically around the mid-60s still, so we've been on the cool side of that the last several mornings. And we're going to continue there. This is a very large area of high pressure and firm control of the weather, really over the mid-Atlantic states. That's doing a couple of things. That'll keep this cool front from getting in here, so no reinforcement of cooler air for us, but it's also keeping Ophelia down off the coast of Florida. Really, she's just sitting out here. There are no upper level winds steering her in any particular direction, so we're relying heavily on computer models to give us an idea of the simulations and where they think they'll go. This was the scene earlier today, and you can see that's confusing enough. This evening with the newest update, we're looking at the models now going in even more diverging patterns. So for now, the National Hurricane Center is sticking pretty much with what they were saying earlier, that a very slow meandering storm will continue off the Carolina and Georgia coastlines, kind of looping back around on itself as we head through the latter parts of the weekend. And by Tuesday, still sitting out here very near the Gulf Stream as a hurricane with about 90 miles an hour. So it's just something we'll have to continue to watch. If she makes that loop, she could still yet again make a route back toward the Carolina coastline. Here's a look at some information that we've been getting today from satellite, from the NOAA satellites. And this is a picture of the coastline in Bay St. Louis taken 2 days after the storm made landfall. This is the beach here in the water. This is actually the debris that has moved inland. It's nearly a quarter of a mile inland, and the storm surge in this region reported to top out about 25 feet. So yes, that's some record-setting storm surge, even compared to Camille back in 1965. Here's a look at the city-by-city forecast for across the Carolinas. Morning temperatures starting out in the 60s. Afternoon highs tomorrow, making it back into the mid-80s. Light winds, plenty of sunshine once again. So all in all, a repeat performance of today. As we look ahead down the road, unless we see some changes with Ophelia, our weather's going to continue much the same. And I'm not hearing too many complaints about that as we head toward the weekend. Need a few raindrops here sooner or later, but for now, they are not in the foreseeable future.
We will take this weather pattern for a very long time. Rain at night, maybe every once in a while.
Well, there you go. That would work.
That's very nice. Thank you, Terry. A surprise tonight, even to animal lovers who thought they had seen everything. This is Quaddy, a four-legged duck. A Kentucky woman tried to sell Quaddy on eBay, hoping the novelty of extra parts would bring in big bucks. Carolina Waterfowl Rescue stepped in, offered to take care of her, and now Quaddy is about to undergo surgery to remove the extra legs. Chucky is with us now with sports. Happy birthday, Chuck. Today's your birthday.
Great to be 20.
That's
actually
right.
Celebrating the 21st anniversary of my
being
20th birthday.
Oh, happy birthday.
Going to talk about the Panthers. They list only 2 players on their injury report for this weekend's game. One of them is Julius Peppers. He gives us a lowdown on his tender ankle heading into the opener with the Saints. Plus, Steve Spurrier asked for it. Now he gets it twice. What that it is when we return.
Tonight's weather is brought to you by
Toyota of Lake Norman, located off I-77, exit 23.
Tom here at Toyota of Lake Norman, I-77 at exit 23. These are the final days of Toyota time. Toyota's nationwide clearance.
Well, tomorrow, Angie, you can take delivery of any new Toyota with nothing out of your pocket, like a new 05 Corolla. You sign and drive for $159 a month or just $10,988. Or a new 05 Corolla with automatic, factory air and CD, only $12,988. New 05 Corolla LE with automatic and power windows is only $13,988. And you get to see all of these and our internet specials at toyotaoflakenorman.com. I-77, exit 23, open till 10:30 p.m.
GMC Engineering is all about going the extra mile. Literally. Never underestimate the value of professional grade. See the pros at your local GMC dealer.
Fill your home with design and innovation, like the new Whirlpool Fast Fill refrigerator. Designed to fill any size container with filtered chilled water twice as fast. At Best Buy, we have the appliances you want.
Get ready for a world where everything is possible. Varakai from Cirque du Soleil. Presented by Visa Signature. Discover what the world is raving about. Buy your tickets today.
Just announced, the Chevy employee discount continues on 05 vehicles and is now available on 06 full-size trucks. From the family of Chevy trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. The discount price is right on the window. That's the Chevy Total Value Promise. Right now, get an 06 Silverado half-ton crew cab LT two-wheel drive for just under $26,300. See your Carolina Chevy dealer today.
The NFL regular season got underway tonight, but the Panthers don't get things rolling until Sunday. Great news for the Panthers. After missing the last 2 preseason games, Julius Peppers is back healthy. He had a fantastic training camp, 2 great preseason games in which he played in. Now he squares off against a rookie tackle come Sunday against the Saints.